All right, cool. Good morning. This is Curtis, one of the neighbors in Paces Club, and I'm on the line with our president, Craig Moore. Craig, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Curtis.
All right, so real quick, we decided to kind of do these quick conversations, once a month? You want to do them like the first week of every month, just to kind of, can you explain to people what the purpose of these calls are for?
Yeah, I think communicating to the neighborhood once a month is an excellent idea. And Curtis, I want to thank you for doing this. I think it's a great way to utilize another medium so that we can reach out to our residents to inform them of upcoming community events and what the board is doing as a whole.
All right, so then, when we talked off air, I was saying that I kind of feel like a lot of stuff people can figure out the what between the website and the Facebook page, but I think it'll be cool for you to explain some of the why on some of these things. So the purpose of these calls are kind of talk about what's going on, why certain decisions are being made, and what's going on in the community. So if we can we talk about just real quick what we hope to accomplish with these quick phone calls for the community?
Well, Curtis, I believe this is a great way for us just to inform the community as to what the board is doing. I'm referencing current projects that we're working on, things that are still on the docket. Of course, I want to bring up community events, things that we want you to mark on your calendar so that you can participate. And, of course, how you can be involved as a community and as a neighbor to make Paces Club a great place to call home.
All right, cool. So then, Craig, if we can, I think it'll be cool to just to start off the kind of little structure is probably with the common areas, if there's anything that's going on, and maybe we can pluck them one by one. So, I guess the first and foremost thing would maybe be like the pavilion. Is there, anything going on with that? I know we at the meeting people were talking about enclosing it, doing, swipe cards and stuff like that. So is there anything going on with the pavilion that people need to know about?
Well, let's talk about the pavilion. First of all, we are planning on repairing the gate and the fences. That requires some specific welding that needs to be done. And we also want to discuss whether we want to raise the gates or rather the fences so they go a little bit higher, or perhaps even investigating and closing that pavilion so that it's a closed building. So those are some of the things that we need to look into. All options are on the table. A very wise man told me, instead of saying we can't, why not just say, why not? You feel that?
Right. Okay. And then the next area, if we, I guess, kind of move over, stand in the same area with the pool. I know it was something going on where it was closed, but it seems like you guys got it rectified. But is there any news or updates as to what's going on with the pool or what happened?
Well, the story with the pool is quite simple. The maintenance people, they didn't know that when you put phosphate in the pool, you're supposed to do it through the filter. And the gentleman that put the phosphate in the pool just dumped it in the pool. So that's why nobody knew what that actually was. So our pool company was very expedient coming out and figuring out what had happened. The pool is operating fine. We're constantly monitoring the pH and the cleanliness of the pool. And we're actually going to keep it open for at least another couple of weeks because the weather is still fine enough to keep it going so.
All right. Now, real quick, Craig, so when something like that happens and I guess the mistake is on the person's side, how does that get dealt with? Do they cover the expense that we incur to remedy it, or how does something like that get handled?
Well, because it was a mistake on their part, the technician came out the next morning. I mean, he was out there really before the pool even opened up for the morning, and he made sure everything was taken care of. And, of course, he didn't charge us for the service call because it was a mistake made on their part.
All right, excellent. All right, and then if we hop over to the tennis courts, man, anything going on with the tennis courts? Any repairs, maintenance, or anything that people need to know about?
Well, Curtis, that goes to the gate and the fence repair. We need to get those locks repaired, and we need to get those fixed. It requires special welding, and getting finding that kind of welder is very difficult because, well, they're backed up big time. But that is on our project board to get completed because that's something that needs to be completed.
So the windscreens, the surface, the nets, and everything like that is pretty cool. No major repairs on deck. Everything looks good.
That hasn't really been brought to our attention. One of the things that we do want to do, though, is recognize our Alta players for some of the awards that they've been given. I can't detail the championships or something, but I believe we are going to put up a banner on their behalf, something of minimal cost, but that's under investigation. We've got to know how much it's going to cost and the applicability, but that's one of the things that needs to be discussed in the near future.
All right, and then cool. Next, if we hop over to our playground, man, what's happening with the playground? It looks. I was out there this weekend and was pleasantly surprised to see it was full of mulch, man.
Yeah, that's a special mulch, and that's called tumble mulch. And that was something that needed to be brought in special so that the kids, when they play on it and they fall on it, they're not injured. We got that taken care of, but there's still quite a few things that need to be repaired on or in that playground, including the benches that surround the area. We want to replace those benches, but there are some little things that need to be taken care of as well. Like that doggone ring that still needs to be replaced. I have spoken to Riverside, and she said she would give me the name of somebody who can replace it, and I just have to follow up with her regarding that.
Okay, but other than that, everything, the gate around that seems pretty solid, and everything else, all of the apparatuses are up to date, and everything's cool, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, and then how about the bridges and the walkways, man? What's going on with those things?
Well, I'm glad that you asked about that. We had somebody actually take a look at the bridge and the walkway over the last 2 weeks, and in order to make sure that that bridge and the walkway stay in good shape, we're going to have to do a little preventive maintenance, and that requires us to put some braces down and a lot of the tough spots that are there. It's going to make our bridges and our walkways last an additional 5 to 7 years. However, this community is about 20 years old, and at some point we're going to have to consider replacing the pier, replacing the walkway and those bridges. But this minor preventive maintenance that should cost about $1,500 will allow us to enjoy the walkway and the bridge a little bit longer. And let's talk about the lake. Is this a good time to talk about Buckeye Lake?
Yeah, I had the pond on next, man.
Oops, did I slip in Buckeye Lake? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was hesitant to call it a lake, but it's all good.
All right. Hey, check this out. What we're doing with the lake is we're renovating the lake so that we're planting fish food distribution points because, quite frankly, those fish are malnourished. We've got the wrong fish in there, and they're undersized, they're malnourished, and ecologically, it's quite unbalanced. David Ives is chairing a movement to get that lake squared away, so starting as early as next week, I believe, we'll be putting in distribution points so that the fish can eat and breed a lot more efficiently. It sounds a little odd that we're helping these fish, but we have to balance that pond or that lake, that area. We're also going to be repositioning some of the plant life there so that the fish can survive a lot better. Plus, it helps out with irrigation. We've been working with Crabapple as to what their thoughts were, and they agreed that some of the larger grass, I don't know the name, needs to be repositioned in order to complement what we're trying to do with the lake. We're also restocking in overabundance the lake with the correct fish. I can't tell you the names of the fish because I don't know my fish very well, but we're going to be restocking that lake with more fish so that, again, everything can be balanced out.
And then all of those decisions, Craig, I got a copy of the report, so you guys had a study done, and got a lot of information in regards to that before making those decisions, or what?
That's affirmative. We had somebody come out and do a survey of our lake, and what they did was they checked what fish were presently in there, what was overabundant and what was underabundant. They also checked the status of the water itself. We need to make sure that we put the chemical balance in that water so that the fish can survive, and that's something that I forgot to add. But that's something else that they're doing. It's an investment in our lake, but that lake is a big part of Paces Club. It's something that our residents and visitors like to walk around and enjoy, and we need to maintain it.
All right, and then, too, can you talk about, so it's two things over in that area, that fountain and that little stream thing, and they both seem to be working, so what did you guys have done? Was that a repair or a replace project?
Well, we've been... Well, I tell you what, that fountain does look nice, doesn't it?
Right.
The fountain that we had before was constantly needing to be repaired, and it just cost too much money too frequently to repair it for something that was inefficient. We decided we had the money, let's invest in our community and get a nice fountain. And I think it looks splendid there in the lake. Now, the waterfall, that required a lot of work because it needs to be reprimed from time to time. And that costs a lot of, well, it doesn't cost a lot of money, but it's a lot of man hours to reprime that. One of the things that we're doing in order to diffuse the necessity of priming it is we've got to clean out that waterway there because it's full of dirt and soot and other things that are blocking the filters from allowing the water to prime, if that makes sense. So that's on the docket with Crabapple. They're going to perform some irrigation of that waterway as well as some of the other areas that need to be cleaned up with irrigation.
All right, and then cool. So we're coming towards, we're in the last, I think we're about to start the last quarter of the year. Any events or things coming up that the community needs to be aware of?
I'm really glad you asked that question, Curtis, because there is a lot of events that have been planned for Paces Club coming up very soon. This Saturday, November 9th, is Vendor Day. I've managed to contact quite a few vendors to show up at our pavilion so that they can provide special deals to our community. So many times I've heard, can we get a special deal for our community for grass, for trash, for windows, for air conditioning, for this, that, and the other. So I've put together a list of vendors such as Loud Security, Grassroots, Trash Taxi, America's Best Choice Windows, Home Depot, and any other residents that want to be involved and show off their particular interests or trades. I encourage them to get involved in that. But that's September 9th. That's this Saturday at the Pavilion from 12 to 4. It's very important we get a good turnout because it took a lot to get all these vendors to accumulate for this. And if there's a good turnout, they'll do it every year. If there's not a good turnout, they'll be very hesitant to do it again. Wow. Check this. September 16th is our community garage sale. We'll be putting out signs very soon. I don't want the community to be alarmed that it's this Saturday, it's next Saturday. But we want people to know, not only in our neighborhood, but those passing by, that we're having a garage sale. The same day, Bring a Pet, Ask a Vet over at the Pavilion, where Euphrates, she's a veterinarian that will take a look at your pet, whether it's a cat, dog, fish, or mouse. She'll take a look at it and kind of answer any general questions that you might have. Additionally, if you have a child who has a stuffed animal, it's kind of a fun thing she likes to do, but it's something that she does. Bring your pet into the Pavilion from 9 to 12 Saturday, September 16th. Bring a pet, ask a vet.
And that's free, right?
I'm sorry?
That's free, right?
Oh, that's absolutely free. That's something that we worked out with our veterinarian.
Okay.
Now, check this out. September 23rd. This is really good news. We have a resident who's decided that they can chair and lead the adult luau. Do you remember the adult luau's we used to have?
Yep.
Those were a lot of fun. We'll have barbecue. We'll have music. We're even going to try to have a couple TVs for the football games. But this is for adults only. It'll be up at the pavilion from like 7 till 2 o'clock. It'll be a lot of fun, and we encourage all our adult residents to check it out. We do so many things for the younger kids. It's about time we do something for our adults. The pool's going to close October 7th, but on October 8th, we're going to reopen it very briefly from 12 to 4 for a doggy dive-in. What we're going to do is we're going to allow residents to bring their dogs to the pool to play in the water. And all benefits, all those donations, we ask everybody to bring $5 per pet. All that money will go towards mostly mutts. So what we're doing is we're having a fun event, but we're also reaching out to mostly mutts and helping them out in a time of need when they really need all the assistance they can get. Check this out. November 28th, our spooky trail. That causes so much attention.
It's November 28th or October?
You know what? October 28th. That was a misprint. Thank you. October 28th. That's the spooky trail. Check this out. We are shaking hands with Home Depot. They are actually going to participate and make one of the tennis courts into, well, I'm not sure exactly what they have planned, but they're going to be participating with their employees, and they're going to build something around the tennis courts to make it even scarier. It's going to be a lot of fun. It always is a lot of fun. But I encourage people to be available for that. And finally, December 9th, we're going to have our Christmas party, where what we did last year was we'll have an ornament-making contest. Santa Claus will be there. We'll have something to drink, cocoa and cookies. And what we ask is that individuals bring gifts of some sort that will benefit the Anna Crawford home. And what we'll do is we'll turn that over to them. And it's really a nice thing that we do. Again, we're shaking hands with Home Depot, which is why they like to participate in our community events, because we do so many things for them. It's a great relationship that we have with Home Depot, and we're glad to have them on board.
All right, and then Craig, too, so if anybody's listening and they want to, you guys have a general email that reaches all the people of the board. Can you give that out, that if they want to email or they have any questions?
Yes, go to pacesclub.org. Make sure you sign up for the website. And things have been a little bit slow, but that's just because people are being verified as to whether or not they actually live in the neighborhood. But go to pacesclub.org, and one of the tabs will be contact or ask a question. So go on our website, and you'll be able to address questions directly to us.
Yeah, and it's board of directors at pacesclub.org, right? That's the email address?
I believe that's it. I'll have to verify that.
All right, and then cool. And then the last thing, too, just so, people have an understanding, we get a lot of, telling why or, what to do, but can you briefly explain why it is you guys are pushing people more towards the website and what limiting factors you guys have on Facebook? Because a lot of people, always wonder, is like people keep telling you to go to the website, but most of the people are using the Facebook. So can you kind of touch on that real quick just so they'll have an understanding?
That's a good question, Curtis. We like to use the website as our official correspondence to the residents. The Facebook page is nice. It really is. It's very effective, and a lot of good things come from the Facebook page. Where to go to get this. Hey, letting you know that there's people in the neighborhood that shouldn't be here. Hey, a found cat or a found dog. Hey, we've got this to sell. Does anybody want it? A lot of good, effective messages are transferred on our Facebook page. But we need to send official documents and official newsworthy events via our web page. Both the web page and our Facebook page are effective, and another way that we can reach out to our residents so they're better informed.
All right, cool. So, Craig, anything else you want to add, man? I think we kind of went over everything, but if there's anything else you want to add, feel free to do it.
I appreciate that opportunity, Curtis. First of all, please sign up for our website if you haven't done so already. This is really key. pitch in when you see something that needs to be done. If you see some trash that needs to be picked up, pick it up. If you see some work that needs to be done and you think it's something that you can do very easily around the community, if you can do that, that would be wonderful. Most importantly, though, we need participation in these community events. If we don't get participation, then there's a loss of interest from the people that help sponsor and put this together. These are the things that make Paces Club a vibrant community. And without your participation, it seems as if the electricity of our community is gone. So we need you to participate. Most importantly for this vendor day, it can be a very big annual event as long as we have people showing up. Paces Club is a beautiful place. It really is. A lot of great things happen in our community, and we're not just working inside of our community, but we're doing things outside of the community, namely Home Depot, working with them, and mostly Mutts. These are great, great things that we're doing, and these are things that make Paces Club a great place to call home.
All right, cool. So that's a wrap. So we'll reach out to you guys within the first week of next month and try to make this a reoccurring thing.
Hey, Curtis, thank you for doing this. I appreciate you putting it together, and I'm looking forward to answering any questions that you guys might have out there. You'll see me walking around, or you can message me. I'm here at your disposal, and I look forward to speaking with you very soon.
All right, Craig, man. Have a good day, bro.
And, of course, go Bucks. Beat the Sooners.
Oh,